All right, everybody. Texas Longhorn head coach Steve Sarkisian recently addressed the media regarding the recent scrimmage that the team participated in. And one thing that's really stood out to me didn't have anything to do with the scrimmage, but had to do with the entire training camp as a whole. And we're going to be talking about that right now. So drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then comment down below your thoughts on this note that I'm about to talk about. And we're talking about none other than Alfred Collins. Now, Alfred Collins, his name is nothing new to come up to Longhorn fans on YouTube or anywhere at all. He's a guy that everybody already knows at this point. He's flashed a ton, year after year after year. It's just constant flashes from the guy. But can he put it together consistently? And we have word from Steve Sarkisian at CJ Vogel, at CJ Vogel _TFB on Twitter. Steve Sarkisian on defensive line, Alfred Collins. I think Alfred Collins has had a very good training camp, very, very impressive. Says Collins has found consistency in his play so far this fall. Now, that is massive. I mean, I don't think I need to tell anybody about how big Alfred Collins can be if he comes through. Because if you watch my channel, every time I've had his name come up, I say this is a guy that if it's up to him, he's an NFL player. He has an NFL body. Like, it is just, it's different. He's a monster out there. And what I mean by monster, I'm not saying he's bad, mean, all that stuff. I'm saying he is literally just, there's other physically large humans that make normal humans look really small. He makes those large humans look small. I mean, this guy is absolutely big, physically imposing. And if he can do it, and I'll tell you right now, I recently just did the Baron Sorrell 2022 every play. And Alfred Collins, he doesn't get as much snaps as Baron Sorrell. But his name pops off quite often when you're watching it. When you watch number 95, it pops off. That name, that jersey number. You see it often. Now, maybe it's due to the size, probably. But at the end of the day, he's constantly in the backfield. I mean, he was close to having a couple more tackle for losses, maybe a couple more sacks. There was one for sure in the Texas Tech game. I mean, Alfred Collins was an impact player for us last year. But it just was not consistent enough. And this is what's nice to see, nice, hopeful to see, is to see if we can finally get this consistency from Alfred Collins. And while I don't think I've said anything really too controversial yet, there's a key word there, yet. A lot of y'all are probably sitting there hoping that the staff is going away from using him on the edge. That's a common thing. I've heard it time and time again, that they need to stop using Alfred Collins on the edge. And it's true. I mean, they have been using him on the edge, mainly on the interior, but I want to see him still on the edge. I'm not saying I want him fully on the edge, and he's a guy that allows us to have some flexibility along the defensive line. I mean, Alfred Collins, he's a true game changer when he's playing at the top level that he can play to. And to hear that we're getting that consistency, if we consistently get what I saw the flashes were, I mean, it felt like it was getting more consistent last year. But at the end of the day, it still was not consistent enough. But Alfred Collins, if he is consistently being that guy, that's a guy that's going to be a problem for opposing offenses, opposing offensive lines. He's going to be getting in the backfield. And there's going to be a ripple effect. You're going to see guys like Ryan Watts. You're going to see guys like Jahdae Barron, Jalen Catalon, Jaron Thompson, Bug back there. These are all people who are going to benefit from this. And that's not even talking about the fellow defensive linemen, considering T'Vondre Sweat. I mean, if you have T'Vondre Sweat, like if Alfred Collins is being big, like if he's being a big guy this year, impact, and this is probably the biggest area where he impacts a team, is on the goal line. I mean, we're losing Ojimo and Coburn. That should not be like that. That is a big deal, losing those guys. But if you're able to fill one of those positions with a giant body by the name of Alfred Collins, and he's playing at a future NFL player at level, I mean, this is exciting stuff to hear because that's the type of body that can really do some damage. When you consider putting in nose tackle Byron Murphy, Tavondre Sweat, you add in him, Sorrella back there. I mean, the goal line defensive line can actually start to get pretty attractive. But at the end of the day, he just needs to consistently show it during game time. It's this year, it's put up or shut up time for Alfred Collins. There's no more talking about it. This is just, it's time to go. So, I just want to do a short video on this because it's something that really excites me. And if it comes to fruition, it can mean some very big things for this Texas Longhorn defense in the year 2023. So, hope you all have a great day. And as always, hook 'em!